self to look for an interesting self. My third point is identity management itself. Identity management is a very technical term. If you look it up in the internet, if you Google that term, you will get very technical descriptions. And of course, this is very important. It has to do with data tracks and with identity profiles in the internet, and this, of course, is very important. But I would try to give this concept of identity management a larger scope, a larger meaning. And if you ask, who are you? In order to provide an answer, you can Google the person. And most of the people do that, especially in America, as far as I know. If you apply for a job, the people will Google your identity and will find out who you really are in the internet, at least. So here in the individual of the 21st century proves to be a construct of databases, a data track on the web. And this is what identity management is all about in the strict technical sense of the word. But and the identity management in the technical sense of the word revolves around safety issues on the web, consumer profiles, and data tracks. But if you extend the scope of the term, you can assume that the modern economy needs a social software. This is what I would like to call social wealth. You need a social software, which means economy has another focus than in the 19th and 20th century. It's a radical departure from the approaches of the 19th and 20th century. In the 19th century, the economy was perceived as an economics of money. And the economics of money was governed by the principle of scarcity. And this is, of course, what we associate with the concept economics nowadays. Yeah. But this was the truth about the 19th century. In the 20th century, we realized that the economics of attention is more important, and that time plays a leading role. So we are interested in time and in the management of time. And in the 21st century, nowadays, the modern economy will be seen from the perspective of the economics of identity. And in the economics of identity, recognition and recommendation will take the front seat. And I think we could call the 21st century, the internet culture, as the age of reputation and recommendation. And of course, this is exactly what the brilliant presentation by Mr. Welch showed so clearly, that it's all about reputation, and reputation depends on recommendation. And the linking in the internet is the technical, media technical basis for this age of reputation and recommendation. So my point number 4 is attention management. And as I said before, this has something to do with ignorance and trust. Global communication opens up a wide variety of options that are absolutely disproportionate to our available time resources. The fact that everyone can communicate with everyone else overloads our capacity of attention. Attention is a natural and scarce resource. You can't do anything about it. It's naturally scarce. And so there is a huge battle about this scarce resource of attention, and not only the internet, but the traditional mass media and all the options and all the products of the mass markets fight to get the mind share, to get your mind share, to get your attention. So time is scarce. Time is a scarce resource. The fact that everyone can communicate with everyone, that's the problem of today. And in a world of manifold possibilities, the everyday shortage of time turns life into a competition for attention. And therefore, attention management is crucial, and we have to deal with the problem of information overload every day. That's not a catastrophe, but it's an everyday problem, information overload. And therefore, the already cited American poet Donald Hall once said, information is the enemy of intelligence. I think this is very important to keep in mind. We have already realized that information is not the same thing as knowledge. And obviously, knowledge management is not the solution, the only solution for our problems, which are problems of orientation. So we have to look what we can do when knowledge management in the traditional form fails. We arrive here at a very interesting paradox again. In the Internet society, the information overload causes a new situation in which the only possible added value, the only possible surplus value means less information. This obviously is a paradox. I think you can reconstruct the argument very easily. If information overload is an everyday problem, the only surplus value that you can offer to a person who is confused is a certain kind of less value, of less information. You have to offer less information and not more information. If you offer a person who is confused more information, confusion will rise. Confusion will increase. That's a very serious problem. Daniel Bell once put it that way: more and more we know less and less. And the less that status and authority vouch for the credibility of knowledge, this is exactly what you just said, that authority is not longer the key factor to transform information or to manage knowledge. The less and less status and authority vouch for the credibility of knowledge, and therefore society has to rely on trust. Search engines are wonderful, of course, and we need them all day long. But search engines can't help you with the main problem. The main problem is you have to know what you want to know before you can start looking for it. And no search engine can help you with that problem. So obviously this has something to do with teaching, with us teachers. And this is a very interesting thing. And I'm not quite sure if you can solve that problem just with technical means. I'm not absolutely sure. Maybe it has something to do with what we call in Germany, with a very old-fashioned word, which is absolutely untranslatable, Bildung. You probably don't know what it means, but we also don't know exactly what it means, but it should be more than knowledge and information. My last point, point 5, is linking value. The most important surplus value added in the 21st century is linking value, and it has something to do with the logic of networks, so wonderfully explained by Mark Granovetter in his groundbreaking essay, The Strength of Weak Ties. It is the new media make up the domain in which we feel most clearly today the painful consequences of modernity. The evolution of the media and computer technologies is consummated without any consideration of our capacity to process the information and to deal with it. And this is why we need techniques that provide meaning, significance. That's indeed, that's the most important problem. It is precisely because all signs point to globalization and global communication that people need cultural preserves of diversity. And it is precisely because virtual reality